Good morning, everyone. It's Mo VID, and this is going to be my first Moments with Mo. So I think it was last month. Time is moving so fast. So if it wasn't last month, it was February. But in the past, I said that I was going to start the Moments with Mo, and I wasn't sure what I was exactly going to talk about. I wanted to do U.S. citizen versus American citizen, because there's a difference between the two, because one's statutory law and the other one is common law. And I'm working on that as well, changing my status from a U.S. citizen, because most of us are U.S. citizens and don't even realize it. But I think I'm going to go with my first one. Well, it is, because here I am. I'm going to go with healing versus being made whole. So I'm going to just talk about myself, my own journey of healing. And I should have been praying for, Lord, please make me whole, which is, what I'm going to start doing that prayer. And I'm just going to tell a little bit about myself and what I've gone through, and give some scripture. So this is going to be a real moment with Mo. So, okay, I guess I'm going to start with back, I think it was in 2010. I believe it was in 2010. My flow would not stop. So I bled for 2 years straight. Went to doctor after doctor, and nobody could really do anything. They when I would go to the doctor, let me just say, one doctor that I went to, she was like, "Oh, I can't examine you because you're bleeding." And I was like, "Oh, no. I bled all last week. This week I'm not bleeding." And she's like, "No, you're bleeding." I was like, "Oh, well, it hasn't came down." Hasn't came down yet. But you can't be examined if you're bleeding. So I got, people were saying a hysterectomy. "Oh, you can have a hysterectomy." I'm like, "I'm not going to have a hysterectomy. I have two daughters behind me. I can't have a hysterectomy. If I have one, if the mother has a hysterectomy, it's like a 80 to 85% chance that the daughter is going to have a hysterectomy." And I was like, "I'm not about to do that to my daughters. I'm not about to do that." And I was like, and then there was actually that there was an instrument, or like an insertion that you could use, and but at that time it was a recall on it. It was so people were, another doctor suggested that to me, and he was like, this was a male doctor, and he was like, all the rest of them were females, but he was like, "Oh, but mine." Okay, so I call these Band-Aids. These were all Band-Aid. Everybody was offering me a Band-Aid. And I was like, "I'm not taking a Band-Aid. I need healing." So he was like, "But my Band-Aid," this is not what he said, but this is how I translated it. He was like, "Oh, but my Band-Aid has sparkles and butterflies on it." And I was like, "I'm not about, this thing is literally on TV as a recall." And the people they're suing people because of the damage that it's caused. And he's like, "Oh no, but mine's is this." And I'm like, "I'm not doing that." And then family members that knew about my condition were like, "Oh, this is not what they actually said, but this is the way I translated it again. Oh, Monique, be happy with the Band-Aid. Be happy with the Band-Aid." I'm like, "I am not going to be happy with the Band-Aid. I have two coming behind me. I got two, not one daughter, but two. I'll just die so that they can live. I'm like, "I'm not accepting that." So, okay. So a lot had went on during that time frame. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to be going back and forth. But anyway, so My youngest daughter literally lost her skin. So her skin literally peeled off her body. So we got that under control. And then once that happened, my oldest daughter started passing out. For no reason. We didn't know. We're taking her to the doctor and everything, and nobody can figure anything out. So, so a lot's going on, right? So we get one issue under control, and then here comes another one, and then there's me as well. And so I'm not going to name this practice because I now found out that it was witchcraft. I really honestly had no idea that it was witchcraft. So this thing came across and I was like, that's interesting. So I originally took this class because of my oldest daughter, because they couldn't figure out, so we're a 3-part being. So they were like, no, there's nothing physically wrong with her, and they couldn't figure it out. So I was like, okay, so it must be spiritual. If it wasn't mentally, physically, there leaves the spirit. So so I took this class, and in order for her, but that ended up drying. It cleared me. I tell people it was as if I touched the hem of Jesus's garment. Like the woman with 12 years, I have no idea how she survived for 12 years because I only did it for 2, and there would be days that I could barely get out of bed. I was so tired and drained and worn out, and it was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. This is going to be the day. So how she did it for 12 years, I don't know, but I understand how she spent all her money and all this other stuff and nobody could help, because to this day, nobody can still help. They're offering Band-Aids. Band-Aids. Anyway, and not healing. But so that was that. So I was literally healed from that. It was, like I said, as if I touched the hem of Jesus's garment, using that practice. But I originally took it for my daughter, and I just was so happened was like, well, let me just see what happens with me. And it dried up instantly, just like the woman, and with the issue of blood, because that's exactly what I had, was the issue of blood. I had the same thing. Yeah, so okay, so fast forwarding to current, I am again in need of healing, but I am not going to name, I'm not going to name what they say that I have, because I'm just not. I'm just a different type of person. I don't accept what they, just like I was willing to die because I wasn't accepting what they had to offer. It's like, and I was literally told that what I was in search of didn't exist. I was like, of course it exists. Just because you don't know about it, anyway, I'm different. I'm just different. So anyway, again, I'm not naming what they say, what they have finally labeled me as, but I'm not going to label myself as that. But so I think I think this has been going on since my late 30s, probably. I'm sorry, guys. Since my late 30s. Yeah, since my late 30s. So I think about when I was like 38, I went to the doctor because I literally gained 10 pounds in one day. And I was like, that's not normal. So I went to the doctor and they were like, oh, you're getting older. What's that got to do with the price of tea in China? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I see plenty of old people that ain't fat. And I was like, that's not normal. Regardless of my age, 10 pounds in one day? That ain't normal. Anyway. So I go on, and the thing, my weight is literally up and down, and and then my diet at that time was pretty clean. I've been on a journey because I literally have a child that didn't eat meat, so we would go, and sometimes I would cook like two meals, a meal for the family and then a meal for her. And then I was like I'm working, a real job, a job outside of the home, and then a job inside. And then of course I've always tried to get businesses started and all this other stuff. I was like, this is too much. So I was like, okay, so we gonna have meatless Mondays. And yeah, so anyway, I just started catering more towards her, so we kind of adopted that. So we would go without meat sometimes. And yeah, so my point is my diet wasn't bad, and I've been thin my whole entire life. Like the size that I am now, the weight that I weigh now, I've never weighed this much. Even pregnant, I've never weighed this much. Never. So yeah, so I my weight is up and down, and all they can say is, oh, you're getting older. So yeah, you got to be your own advocate here. If you look like me living in America, you got to be your own advocate because they don't care. But anyway, so I do all these things, and as I get older, so like I say the past 3 years, probably the past 3 years, I'm super huge. At people that know me, you know, and you can probably see it in my face. Anyway, and it's just horrific. Like I would look in the mirror sometimes and just cry, because it's like, oh my God, I don't even recognize the person looking back at me. So and all they can, and now of course they're saying I'm premenopausal and all this other stuff, and then they finally label me. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna, because words are very powerful. I'm not gonna say what they labeled me as, and so I'm in the process now, and that's why I say I need to be made whole and stop asking for healings, because like I was healed for one thing only to go to another thing that needs to be healed. But I'm going to go into the Bible and just do a few verses. This is taking a little longer than I expected it to take. I'm so sorry, but it is Moments with Mo, so it's going to be a little longer. But okay, so if we go to so another thing about me, I give Bible studies. So I'm going to, I'm not trying to belittle anybody or challenge anybody's intelligence or anything, but sometimes when I've given Bible studies to people who only know Genesis is the beginning and Revelations is the end. All the other books in between, they have no clue how to find them. So I'll probably be like, this is in the New Testament. We gonna start at Matthew, just the first book. So it's not to insult anybody. It's just I'm in that Bible study mode thing because I've given so many Bible studies. So anyway, but like I said, these are just a few scriptures on being made whole. So the first scripture that I have is Matthew 9. So I'm going to be reading, so I'm going to be looking down, and I got my notes and stuff. So Matthew 9, if I can get to it, Matthew 9 and 20 is where I'm going to start. So this is actually the woman with the issue of blood. So Matthew 9 and 20. And behold, a woman which was diseased with the issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. For she said within herself, if I may but just touch his garment, I shall be whole. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good cheer, thy faith has made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. Okay, so because this is going to be my prayer from now on, Lord, make me whole. And hopefully as we go on, you understand the difference between being made whole and being healed. Oh, I'm sorry, let's start with healed. Being healed as opposed to being made whole. And then, okay, so we're going to stay in the same book, Matthew 14, chapter 14, 30 through 36. And this one is Gennesaret, the city of Gennesaret. I hope I said that right. 13 and 30, which is, am I in the right? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in 13. Okay. I meant 14. Sorry. 14 and 30. 14 and 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Okay. Oh, okay. So let's back up just a little bit. Okay. So this Matthew 14 is before the verse 30 is when Jesus told them, the disciples, that he was going to meet them on the other side. And Jesus came and he was walking on the water and they were afraid. And then Peter says, I don't know why I look so dark. I'm so sorry. The lighting is not good. But and then Peter said, if it is you, bid me to come. And he said, come. And Peter walked on the water. And okay, so in verse 30 is, but when he saw the winds boisterous, he was afraid and began to sink. And he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, where dost thou doubt? And when they came, and when they were come unto the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. And when they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. I hope I said that right. And when the men of the place had knowledge of him, they sent into all the country round about and brought unto him all that were diseased, and besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment. As many as touched were made perfectly whole. Again, they touched the hem of his garment again, and that was a practice that they did, because you see two occasions that they're touching the hem of his garment and they're being made whole, and they were made perfectly whole. Lord, please make me perfectly whole. Okay. Then we're going to stay in Matthew, same book. And we're just going to go to 15 and 28. And this one is the daughter, where the daughter was made. Okay. 15, 28, 15. Okay, so. Okay. So this one, I have to say something on this one, because this one is the woman, the Canaanite woman that had the daughter that was grievously vexed with the demon, and he was like, well, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it into the dogs. And she's like, yeah. Call me whatever you want, but at the end of the day, my daughter, I'm gonna have a healed daughter. But anyway, and then she was okay. Anyway, so let's just read it. Okay, so let's go to Matthew 28. Oh, okay. Well, let's back it up. Okay, let's back it up to the 24th. Or let's see. Let me see. Let's go to the 22nd. 22nd. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered her and said, "It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs." And she said, "Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table." 28. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, "O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt." And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Okay. So let's go to the next book, Matthew. I'm sorry, guys. Matthew, Mark is the next book in the New Testament. And it's going to be 5 and 34. And then that one is, this one, let me see. Oh, this is the man with the unclean spirit, that had the unclean spirit. And he was in the tombs because, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm be looking a mess. Okay, so 5, and where did I say? 5 and 34. Okay, so so as he's doing that, and the pigs, he cast the demons into the pigs, and then they told him to please leave. Can you please leave? And then as he was leaving, a ruler of the synagogue, Jairus, comes and talks about his daughter. I'm trying to hurry because I'm already this is turning into a whole lot of moments with Mo. Okay, so 34, and he said unto her, "Daughter, thy faith has made go in peace and die." This is okay. So as he's going to, you guys, I'm sorry, I hate to do this because I'm sure people know, and then other people are like, "Why are you doing this? Because you're insulting us." But some people don't know, and like I said, I'm used to talking to people that don't know, so I'm not trying to offend anybody. But okay, so they send him away from after he sends the demons that were in the man with the tomb into the pigs, and then they were like, "You please leave." And then so as he's leaving, Jairus from the synagogue is like, "My daughter." And so as he's going is upon death, so as he's leaving, this is the story according to Mark. Now, the same story that we heard in Matthew with the woman with the issue of blood. So she comes behind him and touches his clothes, and he's like, "Oh, who touched my clothes?" And the disciples are like, "Well, this is his Mark's version, and of the same thing that happened in Matthew's version." So I think she's in all 4 Gospels, so they all have their versions. But anyway, and they're like, "Lord, why are you asking who touched you? You see the crowd. There's a crowd, right, that's following him everywhere he goes." And so she falls at his feet and told him that it was her, and that what happened, that she felt her issue of blood dry up immediately, and the 34th verse says, "And he said unto her, Daughter, thy faith has made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of thy plague." And that's the verse that I had for Monday motivation. That's the verse that I had for that. Anyway, so now we're going to Mark 5. Now we're going to stay in Mark, and we're going to go to the 10th chapter. Marriage, 10th chapter, in the 52nd verse. And this is, let me make sure. This is with Bartimaeus. This is about Bartimaeus. Okay, so let's just back it up just a little bit. Jeez, this is taking way longer than I thought. So this is my first one, so forgive me. I will figure out how to have just a moment. This isn't like a whole lot of moments, but okay, so as he went into Jericho, great number of people. Okay, so we can start at like the 46, 10 and Mark 10 and 46. And they came to Jericho, and he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great number of people. Blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timothy, sat by the highway side begging. And when he heard that he was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and saying, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And many charged him that he should hold his peace, but he cried the more a great deal, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, be of good comfort, rise, and he calleth thee. And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Jesus. And Jesus answered and said unto him, what wilt thou that I should do unto thee? And the blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight. And Jesus said unto him, go thy way, thy faith has made thee whole. And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus in his way. Okay. Let's see. God, because of time, Lord Jesus, guide me. Let's go over to, I think I'm just going to do 3 more. I don't have that many left, but I'm out of what I have, Matthew, Mark. So we're in Mark, Matthew, Mark, Luke, sorry. Matthew, Mark, Luke. And then I'm going to just go do 1 verse in Luke and 1 verse, I think, in John. Okay, so we're going to go to Luke 17 and 19. These are the 10 lepers. Luke 17. I probably, you know what, would have saved some time if I would have marked these ahead of time. Okay, so Luke 17 and 19, like I said, is the 10 lepers. So Jesus is teaching, and then there's these 10 lepers. Here I go again. I'm explaining, and like you guys don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to continue. like you don't know. Like I said. Okay, so he was passing through to Samaria, and in a certain village, there met him 10 men that were lepers, which stood afar off, and they lifted up their voices and said, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. And when he saw them, he said unto them, go show yourselves unto the priest. And it came to pass, as they went, they were cleansed. 15. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back with a loud voice, glorified God, and fell down on his face at his feet, giving him thanks. And he was a Samaritan. And Jesus, 17, and Jesus answering said, were not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? They are not found that return to give glory to God, save the stranger. 19. And he said unto him, arise, go thy way, thy faith has made thee whole. Okay, so I just have to talk on this one just a bit. Okay, so we see that as they walked away to go show themselves to the priest, like Jesus said, they were cleansed. One of them, when he noticed that he was healed, that's what it says, that he turned back and went and gave thanks to God for healing him. And then Jesus says, where are the 9? So the 9 that were cleansed or healed remained healed. But this man, because he turned back, he was made whole. So there's a difference between being healed and being made whole. So, okay, I just wanted to point that out. Like I said, I'm just going to just leave at that scripture, and we're going to go to John. John 5. Oh gosh. Okay, so John 5 is filled with healing, and being made whole. So just on your own time, if you could just read John 5. Okay, so and then this is the pool of Bethesda, and then okay, so what would happen at the pool of Bethesda was that an angel would come once a year and stir the waters, and then whoever got into the water first would be healed, or does it say made whole? Let's see. Bethesda having revival. So like everybody would be laying there. So all the sick people, the blind, the people with withered hands, they would all sit at this pool and wait for the angel. Certain men with infirmities. Okay, and then there was a man with that had an infirmity for 38 years. He was basically paralyzed. He couldn't get in. So Jesus comes by, and okay, let me see where he. Okay, so in 6, when Jesus. Okay, let's start at 5. And a certain man was there with an infirmity for 38 years. So this man was paralyzed for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? And the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another steps down before me. And Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed and walked. And on that same day was the Sabbath. Okay, so so they also had a problem with him healing on the Sabbath day. And let me see. Okay, and then so let's go to the 14th. Oh, I know I said that was going to be the last, but I'm almost done. This is a long moment. Afterwards, Jesus found, did I say this is the 14th verse? And afterwards, Jesus findeth him in the temple and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon thee. So, okay. So, like I said, I am in need of being made whole again. So like I said before, probably if I had of prayed this prayer back then, maybe I wouldn't be faced with the situation that I'm in now. But when you know better, you do better. Okay, so I just wanted to come on here and just say that we see the difference, but hopefully you guys see the difference between being healed and being made whole. And then the only thing that seems to take away the wholeness is sin. So you just go and sin no more. So, okay, so since you know, just follow the rules, the commandments, the laws of God, and you should be made whole for the rest of your life. So that's all that I came on here to share, because I'm again facing a need of being healed again. I look a mess, but anyway, along my journey, this is what I noticed. I was like, there's a difference between healing, and I'm always asking for healing, and I should have been asking to be made whole, because that's everything. And then you should be able to hold on to your wholeness as long as there's no sin. So anyway, thank you for this long moment with Mo. My first moment with Mo. Thank you for listening, especially if you listened this long. Oh my God, thank you so much. Anyway, my name is Monique Wade, and I am enough.